It's a massive week for Wuthering Waves, which means that we're getting a lot of content when it comes to the game, regarding obviously Phase 2 coming into play, and then we also got the wuwa livestream coming on the 12th, which I am very, very excited for. So, we're going to talk about if you should be summoning first for Phrolova and Cantarella. Now, of course, if you like the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Wuthering Waves video comes out. And of course, don't forget to check out my ever wonderful sponsor, GamerSupps. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off of your purchase. Guys, I'm telling you right now, GamerSupps is probably one of the best products that I've ever had the pleasure to be sponsored by, and it's probably the biggest sponsor I've ever had. But I love these guys. The people behind GamerSupps really do care about the creators, and they care about giving you guys quality over quantity, but they still give a lot of quantity. I'm just saying, make sure to use code TYSTRA for 10% off. Get yourself some waifu cups, and of course, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. Now, as you can see, we are using Pridewind. I'm not saying that Pridewind is the end-all be-all. I always say this in every single one of my videos. I do tend to align more with how Pridewind looks and rates their characters. However, I do feel as though that there are times when Pridewind is wrong. So let's go ahead and first dive into the 5-star characters. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about the 4-star characters. I'm going to keep this very, very quick and painless, right? So we do have Donjin first. Donjin, of course, is a Havoc DPS user that kind of works like similar characters such as like Hu Tao or what's another one? I honestly can't figure it out at the moment. Or like what's his name? Blade from like HSR. So Donjin basically is just going to be doing damage and causing damage to herself while also getting her ultimate and being able to damage basically the enemy. Now, Donjin's not too bad. I am a terrible Donjin player, to be quite honest with you, which is probably why when I explain her kit, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like Hu Tao, but not really. And you could call me a filthy Hoyoverse player. It doesn't matter at this point. But I do think that the people who play Donjin and know how to play Donjin, y'all are insane, because y'all can clear stuff that I could never dream of. I am terrible when it comes to Wuthering Waves. I am not ashamed to admit it. I tried to go tactical holograms this week, and the dragon, or siege dragon, whatever you want to call him, got to 6, and he just completely wiped me. But yeah, all I gotta say is Donjin is not a bad 4-star to have. If you already have her, great. She's definitely better than Chisha, which, by the way, Chisha here is kind of just mid. You get her pretty quickly in the game, and she's also a 4-star DPS fusion character, so it's really just, yeah, if I'm going to pick a 4-star to do damage, I'd probably pick Donjin over Chisha. I think Chisha could still be good. I think people who use her and are actually decent with her are still very good. I just can't use her very well. Basically, you're just building up her forte to shoot more bullets. That's basically what it boils down to. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Chisha, to be honest with you. I think her design's cool, but other than that, I don't think she's worth your time. We are going to go a little bit over Wuthering really quick, because Wuthering is going to be the new 4-star character. Looks like Electro Healer that enhances team damage. She can inflict Electro Flare, increase Resonance skill damage bonus, and amplify the whole team's damage through her outro skill. When Wuthering gains Minor Yin or Minor Yang, she enters Yin-Yang balance, upgrading her Resonance Liberation to Flashing Thunder Seal Harmony. And Flashing Thunder Seal Harmony can create a 5 Thunders spell array, dealing periodic electro damage and applying Electro Flare. While this array is active, nearby allies gain Thunder spell effects that evolve as they cast intro skills. After 2 intro skills are cast, all active resonators can gain 30% resonance skill damage bonus. I think that she's going to be an effective 4-star character from what I've seen, especially as a healer. Now, as you can tell on the tier list, we don't really have 4-star healers. We do have, obviously, Baizhi, but Baizhi is going to be absolutely outranked by Wuthering, in my opinion. I think Wuthering is going to trounce her. That being said, do I think that Wuthering is going to break the game? Absolutely not. Normally, 4-stars don't tend to do that. However, I will say that overall, Wuthering is going to be a welcomed addition to the roster of Wuthering Waves, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy using her. That being said, do I think that you should solely summon for her? Nah, I don't think that you need to summon for her, especially with what's to come in 3.0, which leads me to the 5 stars. Now let's talk about Cantarella. Cantarella's hot. Let's just call it as it is. And Cantarella is rated on here as a hybrid character in the middle, right? She does have good crowd control from what I've used of her. I've only used her a little bit, to be honest with you, because I couldn't finish building her at the time. I was so fixated on some other characters, and she's hot. Like, I like watching her more than playing as her. But I do think that she has a decent standing within Wuthering Waves. She's able to do all that crowd control, sustainability. I think she also has healing, if I remember correctly, when it comes to the sustain. I gotta find that really quick if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong, and I'm just a dummy. I thought she had healing, but I guess I'm wrong. I don't know. I could be crazy. I just don't remember her. I don't play her enough, but honestly, when I did play her, she's good, but she wasn't giving me the overpowered feel, right? As we get with like the Carlottas, like what we get with Cardathea, you know, like with Augusta. Like Augusta's insane. But yeah, do I think you should summon for her? No. I think that there's other characters to summon more for. Like Phrolova here. Phrolova is actually pretty good. Phrolova can be an on-field or off-field. I tend to use her more off-field once I get her actual ultimate off. Or Forte, is it Forte? No. It's Resonance Liberation. Once I get her Liberation off. That's what I like to do with her because, you know, I could switch from her to go into a Havoc DPS, such as Camellia, or you could even go with other DPSs if you just want to mix it a little bit. But yeah, I like Phrolova being that off-field DPS. Now, what you do is you kind of build her Forte, her Forte circuit. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm very bad with words right now. I'm very tired. But you build up her Forte circuit with her heavy attacks. Once she's able to actually like gather those up a little bit, and then you could use her. I think it's Forte or heavy attacks to skill usage, and then she's able to gain like the 6 musical notes in the middle. Once you get that, you're able to activate her liberation, and from there, I just tend to freaking switch off of her to go into my DPS and have her do off-field DPS stuff. She's still considered very good. She's considered up here among the greats like Augusta, Cardathea, even Galbrenna. I think Carlotta still does a lot of damage. Same with Zani, but that's why they're both up there as well. But yeah, I think that Phrolova is one of those characters that you could do very well with. It's not like you have to have a high skill ceiling for her. I think that she's relatively easy to use. Like, even for me, even though I might be mistaken on her heavy attack and skill, like, I could go back and be like, oh yeah, this is how you do it. Like, it's really not that difficult. It's a very easy kit to understand after a while. But then again, I haven't used her in a long time. I'll be honest with you. I've been on the Augusta with what's her name? Yuno. So I've been loving that team comp and then having Shorekeeper in the back because, you know, I'm a degenerate. But yeah, I do think that overall Phrolova's good, but should you summon on this banner? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think you should. And the reason being is because we have 2 new characters coming out that is probably going to start shaping the brand new area. And I think from what I'm gathering, they might be some pretty dastardly broken characters. Morn and Linne. Is it Linne or Liney? I don't know. But yeah, I think that we should save our summons for those 2 because I'm pretty sure they're going to be absolutely busted to start out with. And again, not saying that none of these characters are not busted. Like, Phrolova's pretty damn good, but I think that we'll see this list from Pridewind kind of shape a little bit differently once those 2 characters come out. And who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're terrible and they go down the tier list, and I'll just tell you, hey, I'm sorry, you didn't summon for Phrolova. But I'm going to say skip. Because honestly, like, out of new characters, Booling is not worth putting in because there's a chance that you just don't get her and then you end up getting a 5-star that you didn't want. Not to say that, you know, these 5 stars are bad. It's just more so, again, you're kind of taking the gamble. So, and as I always say, don't spend your money on these banners. Save your money. Don't gamble your life savings away. We don't want another C6 Fiorina situation from some rando type of thing, you know. I'm just saying, save your money. Don't spend money. They give you a pretty decent amount of pulls, and you don't need every single character to do everything. Let me spend my money because then I can be like, okay, yeah, is this casual friendly? Because I'll tell you what, I am definitely not somebody who is beating everything. I'm just the casual guy, right? And who's going to be the casual characters that you want to go for? It's going to be characters like Augusta, Cardathea, you know, Galbrena, even Phrolova, you could say that, but again, it's just not going to be the same thing. But that's going to be it for today's video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Let me know what you think about Cantarella and Phrolova, right? Let me know what you think if you should summon for them. Yeah, I don't think you should. I think you should skip for 3.0. But that's going to be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you in that next video. Please take care and be safe.